Okay.
If you were reviewing resumes for prospective employees, which qualities would you look for?
Well, I look for people a lot, and the biggest thing I look for is that they have a passion for whatever they're going to do. And if they aren't really excited about it, it probably isn't going to work that way. But if they're enthused, they jump out of bed in the morning thinking about doing it, and they have fun doing it, they're going to succeed in the job. You know, you just can't miss.
What is your best advice for a new investor?
For a new investor, well, I would do a lot of reading before I invested. In other words, I would prepare for it. I wouldn't just jump in the water until I thought I knew how to swim. And, so I did a lot of reading. I read every book that the Omaha Public Library had about investing by the time I was 11. And you know, you got plenty of time. You're young to invest, so why not go in prepared instead of learning as you go along? You will learn as you go along. I mean, that comes with investing. But it's better if you've done some thinking about it and sort of take your time getting into it. But you're not too young to start preparing for it at all.
How do you know which nonprofit organizations that you're going to give money to?
Well, the best thing to do is give the ones you're interested in. I mean, there are all kinds of good things to do. It's take Girl Scouting, but I mean, there's all kinds of things that are helping people, and you want to get tied in with people you think will really get the job done. I mean, you can stick a name on anything, but it doesn't mean that they're going to necessarily do what they're saying. So you really want some place that's effective. So you want to go out and look at what they've really achieved, and then you still want to go down the grain of what interests you. I mean, you know, you'll all grow up and have had a great experience in Girl Scouting, so you may decide that that's a particular interest of yours. Other people, it may be their church, you know, it can be their school, it can be all kinds of things. And the important thing, it's important to you personally which one you choose, but there's no one that I regard as a 10 and another one as an 8. It's the one that does something for you and that really grabs your interest as well as your money.
What financial suggestions do you have for college students?
On your parents first. Make it as painless for them as possible. But the biggest suggestion I have is to avoid credit cards. I get letters every day, lots of letters every day, from people that have financial troubles, and it comes about from three things. One is losing their job. The other is some kind of terrible illness that hits them by surprise. But the third thing is credit cards again. But interest rates are very high on credit cards, and sometimes they're 18%, sometimes they're 21%. If I borrowed money at 18 or 20%, I'd be broke. So I can't make a living by borrowing money. $10,000 a head and $9,000 or $10,000 in the hole is night and day. And credit cards, it's very easy to get in the hole, and then the interest charges compound, and finally, you know, you're just in too big a hole to dig your way out. So if I had one piece of advice for young people generally, it would be just avoid credit cards.
Well, I read that you bought your first stock when you were 13, and I was wondering what that stock was, and do you know how much it's worth today?
Well, actually, I bought the first stock when I was 11. It was in 1942. Yeah, maybe I lied about my age. I don't know. Yeah, I actually had to do it through my dad because they wouldn't take an order from a minor. But it was a company called City Service Preferred. I bought it at 38 and a quarter. It went down to 27. My sister bought some because I did, and she was very unhappy with me. We walked to school together, and she kept reminding me that I hadn't done very well by this stock. And then it started going up. And it got up to 40, and it'd been so painful when it was down to 27, and it was so painful hearing about it from my sister too, that I sold it. And then it went to about 210 after that, and it was a preferred stock, so they called it, so it isn't around anymore. But if I'd been a little more patient, I would have gotten off to a lot better start.
I'm going to replace your buzzer. Sir, let me just work on this here. You were
right.
Right.
Well,
there you go.
Okay.
Thank you.
On my second one already. What do you think? I mean, Well, let me ask you a question, then. I'll quiz you.
I think she does.
What's your favorite part about being a Girl Scout?
Well, and all the different activities that you can go on and all the opportunities that it gives you.
And what are the most important ways you help people?
Well, our gold and silver and bronze awards, you help the community doing that. And also, you help people when you go to camp, and you always donate items to the different service projects that they
And
do.
you probably made a lot of good friends, too.
Yeah.
haven't you? Yeah, that's terrific. The friends you make are enormously important.
Yep.
I mean, I've been lucky over the years. The friends I've had, I try to be friends with people who are Dairy Queen, so to say. Big helpings.